Hey everybody, this is Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society, and I am out today. It is an absolutely gorgeous summer day. I suppose it's probably mid to high 70s, and the sun is shining, the breeze is low, but there isn't just enough one to cool you down a little bit. I've got the e-bike packed up for an overnight. I'm not actually going to do an overnight. I've got some different gear, and I've got some panniers for it that I mounted. So I'm really just seeing, how does everything mount? How does everything fit in? And then, does it stay on there the whole time? So the real goal today is I'm out picking some berries. It continues to be berry season here. The thimbleberries are still out. The native blackberries are still there. The salal berries are just starting to ripen up and be pickable. And what I'm after today is the invasive blackberries. They are out and about and starting to get ripe. The bushes are loaded, but we haven't had any rain for quite some time. And so, they're just slowly coming on. I think they're a little bit late this year. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe everything is, or maybe it just seems like it to me. But anyway, we're out to get them today. So let me show you the bike, kind of the setup I've got, and then we're going to get to picking some berries. So as I mentioned, I bought some new panniers for the e-bike. So I'm increasing the storage capacity that I have on the bike, and I'm really liking it. So that currently is loaded with both hammocks, a cover, my cook stove, some cooking material, knife, lights. I've got a couple bottles of water in there. I've got a little cooler inside the cooler, and so it is loaded up. I also mounted a little phone rack up top, so I have quicker access to the phone. Of course, I've got the storage bag there for tools and things like that. Yeah, so it is set up, and I'm really liking this setup. I want to do an overnight with it. Again, I'm just making sure everything stays on, nothing rubs, and that it's ready to roll. So you can see behind the bike what I'm after today. The bushes are just loaded with berries. Now, most of them aren't ripe. They're just starting to come on. Some of them are. There's a few ripe in there, but the great thing about this is that you can harvest just for a few minutes in a spot like this, and you're going to have more berries you need, even though they're not fully on yet. So these berries run all the way down here. Now, there are, you can always tell there's been people picking on these, and nature loves to trick you. If you look up there, back in there, man, they are loaded with ripe berries up top. They seem to put their energy towards the top right away, but don't let it fool you. Don't go after those. I'm telling you what, man, if you're not paying attention, those little suckers will get you. So I'm going to start working on these berries and get some in the bowl. Well, I'll tell you what, when you're going in on these things, be very strategic. They like to bite, and I'll tell you what, you're going to get purple too. These big vines, man, they have some daggers on them. So if they can get a hold of you, they're going to do some damage. The other thing to really be careful for is pay attention below, because oftentimes you're focused on these great big blackberries and you don't notice below you is a big set of vines, and man, if they get a hold of you, they'll wreak havoc. So you want to be very, very careful. And what I mean by strategic is when you're going in to pick something, especially if it's below, fingertips, go very strategically in and right back out the same exact way, because what'll happen is you'll go in, get the berry, and it's like when you get the berry, you kind of forget about the vines and you change your direction, go to the side, maybe you get distracted by another berry, and that's when these bottom ones get you. The other thing you can do is, as you're pushing back, you can kind of use your bucket as a tool, push them down. That gives me access to this nice big ripe one. But when you're doing that, be careful of the bottom of your arm, because the bottom of your arm will hit these other ones that you didn't push down, and then they'll get you. So very important to pay really close attention, to where everything is, legs, arms, because man, even through pants, these things will tear you up. Let's get some more berries. Now, as I mentioned, you got to really pay attention. I got a great big one behind me, a couple up above the camera, one sticking out. You can see the wind is pushing this one at me. Now, if I don't pay attention to that thing and I back up, this thing has got probably 1/2 inch long dagger sticking out of it. well, that'd tear the back of your neck up pretty hardcore. So really pay attention. And don't feel like you have to go after all the really challenging berries that are way back in there. This is just a few minutes of picking. And you can see this bowl is already half full, and I've hardly touched them. That thing's grabbing at the back of my shirt right now. So we want to be super careful. There are so many berries, we don't have to get tore up in order to get them. Doesn't make any sense. The other thing too is change your angle by the way you're going in. Like, which hand are you using? So if you're going to go in with your right hand, angle to your right. If you're going in with your left hand, angle to the left. Silly little tip, but it makes a big difference. There's a few there. Oh yeah, those are pickable. Kind of just walking along this edge. And there's, you can see they go all the way down, so we'll get plenty. And I'll tell you what, berry season is one of my favorite times of year. I mean, you guys know I love mushroom season, and come fall, man, I'll be chasing them, because these will be long gone by then. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to truly appreciate berry season and the abundance of berries that it provides. I mean, these things, like I said, they're just starting, and these bushes are loaded. So, you know, do this a couple, 2-3 times a week, if you know, for an hour. And again, you're filling up these bowls. You'd be surprised how quickly you got a couple gallon bags in the freezer, and they're great in smoothies, they're great in pancakes, pies. There's so many things you can do with these. So don't just think about the now. You can freeze them up and store them for long-term use. You can make jellies and jams out of them. Heck, we can make a little blackberry cider or a blackberry wine with these. So a lot of versatility, a lot of things you can do with it. And I just really think it's an awesome time of the year to get out here, enjoy the nature, right? And enjoy the abundance of it. So always pay attention to your nearby plants. Make sure there's no poison ivy, poison oak, or anything like that that might get after you. That's enough yakking. I'm gonna get back to berries. And remember, only drop the best berries. Not sure why that happens, but it seems to be consistently the problem. Only the very best, very ripest berries drop. Luckily, there's plenty of them. Ooh, they got me, grabbing onto me. Another thing with these berries too, you know, you're reaching out to paying attention to all this stuff. Just grab onto them, give them a little pull. If they pop right off, they're probably ripe enough to eat. If they pull the vine, like this one is doing, then they're not quite ripe yet. Now that won't always work. You'll still get some that aren't quite ready, but overall that's going to give you a better quality berry. And better quality means sweeter. So you'll still pull some of the ones that resist a little or that aren't quite ripe, and they'll be a little tartar is what they'll be. So these are the ones that just pull off, the easier they pull off, the sweeter they're going to be. So sometimes you'll grab them and they just kind of fall in your hand. Skip the bucket. That one's for you. Put it in your mouth. Those are the best ones. But yeah, just pinch, pull. Like this one doesn't want to come off. That one is not ripe, so we're going to leave that alone. All right, guys, that was a fantastic haul. First blackberry haul of the year. Now, I've been foraging some native blackberries and some other things, but this is the first time I brought them home. So that filled that entire bucket. That was maybe an hour at the most. Give it an hour. And that is plenty. I mean, you could make a pie with that, make some cider with that. Now, we have a tradition, kind of like the first morels of the year. You know, those we just cook in butter, salt and pepper, real simple. I want to taste the morels. The blackberries, our tradition, the first ones don't get frozen, they don't get baked. We eat them just the way they are. And our first berries, other than nibbling, of course, will be the old-fashioned like vanilla bean ice cream and blackberries. So it's one of my favorite treats. It's the first of the year. We always do that. And then after that, we'll start freezing these up. So thanks for coming along for that quick video. This was just a short run today on a Sunday. And I think next time I'm going to chase some salal berries, but blackberries today. Hopefully, next time I see you, I'm out doing something wild.